What's up, everyone? Steven Shinder and Danielle Major here of Drum Talk TV for another news desk report, January 22nd, 2025. Chime in, tell us where you're watching from, and let us know what you think of the topics we discuss here. We'll be talking about some music news. One of them is kind of Rush related, and we've also got reminders of what's going on Drum Talk TV, as well as the membership site drumtalktvbrilliance.com. But yeah, how's it going, Danielle?
I'm good, Steven. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah,
Cold?
like
Is it cold
um
where you are?
the weather has been kind of strange. Like it'll be super cold in the morning and the evening, but in the
Mm.
middle of the day it'll be much warmer. So
Yeah, where
depending on the
where in
time of
California
day,
are
I've
you?
sorry?
Where in California are you?
I'm in Downey, which is like in Los Angeles County, toward the like
Mm.
west. Like yeah, yeah,
Okay.
right.
Any fire scares near you?
Far enough away from all of that, but yeah,
Okay,
again,
good.
hoping that things work out well for anyone who's been affected by
Yes,
those or
for
near
sure.
those. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, opposite. The opposites here. Even though I live in Georgia, which is supposed to be hot, it has been quite cold. It was 17 degrees last night when I went to bed. Everybody's freaking out thinking their pipes are going to burst. You probably never run into that, but your pipes can burst if your house is too cold for too long. So everybody was shutting down the schools, and we had maybe a half an inch of snow, and everybody was freaking out. So
mm,
that's how things have been here. Speaking of cold,
yeah. Yeah, nice segue. We have an icebreaker. So, this icebreaker, I think this is one I thought of a while ago, but just have never used.
mhm,
So, what band's name could have had the word the at the front of its name without it sounding out of place? And if you have
mhm,
multiple ones that come to mind, feel free. And folks, if
yeah.
you're tuning in, chime in with your answers. But yeah, what were you able to come up with for this one, Danielle?
I would say Foo Fighters, because if it's the Foo Fighters, that would make sense. That's easy. And for a long time, I always thought it was the Foo Fighters. I didn't know it was just Foo Fighters. So the would be easy. People might probably say that already, if not mistaken for it with the in front of it already.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
No?
I think I've heard people refer to it with the part without realizing it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't technically have one. So
Yeah. I even had to look it
yeah.
up before this. I was like, it's just Foo Fighters, right? Not the Foo Fighters. And I was like, yeah, that's right. That's just Foo Fighters. Yeah. What about
Yeah.
yours?
So I thought of a few different ones. Like there's like a folk band from the late 60s. It's been going on since then called Straubs. And lots of people refer to them as the Straubs, even though it's just
Mm.
Straubs.
Okay.
I know Dad has referred to Chromatics as the Chromatics on occasion, even though there's no
Mhm.
the. Um,
Okay.
but another one I thought of was, this is a band my sister's more familiar with. I haven't really done a deep dive on their discography, but Incubus, I feel it could have been called The
Hmm.
Incubus, and it wouldn't sound
Mm.
too out of place.
Yeah, I can see that. I've seen them a few times live. You don't know their discography very well.
Yeah, I may have heard a couple of their songs, but yeah, it's one I've been
They
meaning to explore more of.
they're a very fun band to listen to. They have a very, what's the word, diverse kind of spectrum of sound where it's kind of like a 311 in a sense where you could get something like 311 could be more reggae one minute and then kind of heavy, like heavier rock the next. And Incubus is
Hmm.
kind of the same way. You can get this really nice acoustic kind of ballad sing along song, and then the next you can get this really kind of heavy rock with a DJ doing different sound effects in the background one in the next second. So they're pretty diversely talented bands that I've always loved, and they're really fun to play drums on and see live. But yeah, Incubus is definitely It's one of my top probably 15, 20 bands of all time, and I could definitely see the because an incubus is a technically a demon that possesses you in your sleep. So it could be
Yeah.
the incubus. Well, it is other things,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to go into that detail. But it could be, yeah, definitely be the incubus. But I think since it's plural members, incubus makes more sense. But yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I also see the Prague corner is chiming in, says greetings, and also has a few answers. The Sex Pistols. Wow, I thought that
I
they
thought
did
it
have a
was
the,
the
but
Sex
apparently
Pistols.
not.
Maybe it is
The the Ramones. Yeah, I had to Google that and be like, wait, it's all called the
Is it
Ramones.
really?
Yeah, it's just called Ramones apparently.
Really?
The
Yeah, the
Pixies.
Pixies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, this all makes
interesting.
sense. Huh. Good call. Good call.
Yeah, thanks for
Interesting.
chiming in.
What if
Yeah.
it was just Muppets, not the Muppets? See, that backwards is weird.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that could kind of work either way, but yeah,
The
and
Muppets is more official and makes more sense.
yeah, and you also have some movies where like the original begins with the and then the one word and then a later
Hmm.
iteration takes
Yeah.
out the and it's just the one word. So it's funny
Anytime
how those
someone
things
says
work.
like the, I always go to that movie, The Social Network, when because he originally had Facebook as the Facebook,
Oh yeah,
and then
the
they said
Facebook.
drop the and make it just Facebook. And
Yeah,
so
it's cleaner.
me and Daniel always say that all the time. He's like, drop the.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got in what was it today in news, eh?
Yeah, so before we get to this day in music, just off the top, want to mention a couple of passings. So,
Ah,
this first one, 2 days ago, John Sykes passed away at age 65 after dealing with cancer. He's a guitarist known for Whitesnake, Thin Lizzy, Tigers of Pantang, and Blue Murder. And yeah, I saw some people with their outpouring tributes to him, but yeah, like I know 65 seems like a long time away for us, but
mhm.
it's still like younger than you would hope, you know? So,
Yeah, agreed.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also yesterday, the keyboardist and last surviving member of the band, Garth Hudson, also passed away at 87.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's quite a thing, you know, if the last surviving member and yeah, like
Hmm.
the band is a band I haven't heard much of in terms of their discography, but
Yeah,
like I
same.
knew the name, and so there's a lot of reputation attached to that, I'm sure. So yeah, quite a
Okay.
loss right there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so our hearts go out to anyone connected to them, whether they be friends or family or fans, and you know, dig up any of their music. You know, just remember them. All right, so now we'll go into this day in music. So this is January 22nd. The first one we have here, 2012, Adele broke an American chart record that has stood for years after being set by the Beatles and Pink Floyd. The singer's second album, 21, clocked up 16 weeks at number one on the US chart, matching the success of the Titanic original soundtrack.
Wow.
21 beat the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and Pink Floyd's The Wall, which had previously held the accolade with runs of 15 weeks at number
Wow.
one. And yeah, those are monumental albums, so it's quite
I
a
wouldn't put
feat
it
to
past
break
her.
that record. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Adele's pretty big.
Mm.
Okay. This day in music in 2006, the Arctic Monkeys scored their second UK number one single with When the Sun Goes Down from their debut album, Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not. Haven't heard of Arctic Monkeys in a while, but they're good.
Yeah, I've heard at least a few of their songs. I think that's another
Yep.
one I need to do a
I
deep
think
dive
they had
on.
a track on Guitar Hero or Band Hero or something, Rock Band.
Rock band.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I miss those games.
Oh,
They
I
were a
miss
lot
those
of
games
fun.
so much. I used to play them all the time, and I won a contest back in 2006 or five, one of those late high school years. I won a big tournament at some big bar in Atlanta. It It was nuts.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun.
Right. So, 1983, on this day, the new 24-hour music video network MTV, so this will have been going on for 2 years at the time, started broadcasting to, or a little over a year because it was January, but yeah, started broadcasting to the West Coast of America after being picked up by Group W Cable Los Angeles.
Nice. I want my
MTV.
Yeah, can't ever like talk about that without mentioning that song. Okay, and then last one this day in music. Paul McCartney went to #1 on the U.S. album charts with the triple live album Wings Over America, which is Paul McCartney's sixth, wow, U.S. #1 after being with the Beatles, after the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was 77, so that would have been like almost one album per year after
Right?
the Beatles ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of artists were really churning stuff out at the time.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right.
All right, what else do we have next on the DTTV list, Steven?
Yeah, so on Drum Talk TV, just a reminder, since January is our 12th anniversary, one of the ways we're celebrating is there's a discount code that people can use at checkout over at our Drum Talk TV Brilliance membership site. So you could go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com, and that gives people a 3-month Brilliance membership at the price of $12 total.
Yeah.
Yeah, so since the monthly subscription is $12 per month, that's basically like getting 2 months free.
It's a BOGO. It's a buy one get two.
Yeah. And the code is DTTVB312, and I'll go ahead and type it in the comments here. Yeah, so
All right.
great stuff there.
And also, one of the perks of being a member is you can send in more submissions for our play along contest. So, drummers, this goes to you. As you probably heard before on our Facebook or on one of these news desks from the last few weeks, we are currently running the Phil Collins Drumming Challenge, which means you can record yourself playing to any Phil Collins song, whether it's a solo with Genesis, another band, Robert Plant, etc. And you record yourself playing that song and send it to us. And you can join either for free, or if you go from the paid side, you'll actually get to upload more videos. So if you enroll as a free Brilliance member, you get to do 2, which is okay chances. But if you enroll as a member, you can send in as many videos as you want. So that kind of increases your chances of winning. And the winners get anywhere from $125, $75 to $50 gift cards to a music store of their choice. So we have a video about this. So Stephen, roll footage.
Phil Collins, a legend, an amazing drummer, a musician who redefined the sound of an era. From his groundbreaking drumming with Genesis to his chart-topping solo career and working with artists Robert Plant, Eric Clapton, and many others, Phil has sold over 150 million albums, won 8 Grammys, an Academy Award, and left an indelible mark on music history. His iconic beats and unforgettable melodies continue to inspire generations. We are excited to announce our Phil Collins Play Along Drumming Challenge, all during the month of January, to honor him during his birthday month. Here's how you can be part of it. Choose any track that Phil Collins has played drums on. This can be with Genesis, his solo career, Brand X, Robert Plant, Eric Clapton, Tears for Fears, or any others. Video record yourself playing along to the track with your camera in horizontal mode. Submit your video on the challenge page located inside your Drum Talk TV Brilliance account. You don't have one yet? Then go to www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com and set one up. It only takes a quick moment. Your video or videos will be reviewed and judged based on 4 main elements, which are on the submission page. The top 3 winners get prizes ranging from $50 to up to $125 gift certificate to their favorite music store. So join us in celebrating one of the greatest drummers with over 5 decades of great music. Sign up to our free Brilliance Showcase at www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com and fill January with Phil.
Yeah, I see in the comments, Bella Lugrisi says, Phil, awesome. Yeah, and they can be deep cuts or they can be iconic or anything in between. Like, the possibilities are
playing
pretty
drums,
huge.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as it's him.
Yeah, as long as they're playing to the official track, yeah.
And official, no bootlegs, no live tracks.
Yeah, we've got several submissions so far, and on the Phil Collins Challenge page on our membership site, also on the free showcase site, there's also some inspiration videos. You know, my dad Dan giving some tips and playing along to some stuff. And we also got Luke Calderola and Jason Gianni each playing along to stuff. So yeah, great stuff right there.
I really need to record mine, but I haven't really picked a song. Phil always has he's always got a very particular beats, like the timing he plays in, and then plus if you take the timing he plays in and then you take the way he sets up his drums, it's really hard to mimic that. And if I'm playing somebody or doing some sort of tribute or anything like that, I want it to be as close as possible, but it's very hard to get there. Very hard. It's not an easy task whatsoever. All right. Okay. And
yeah,
what else?
So another perk for Brilliance members is they can access our Q&A and concert archives. You know, in the past we've had people like Oliver Wakeman, Holiday on Saturn, the Kinky Wizards, they've done performances, and we've also had Q&As with Nigel Glockler, Rudy Sarzo, and now more recently Chris Welsh had some interesting stories. You know, he's a music journalist, has hung out with Led Zeppelin, has interviewed Yes, ELP, and just seen a lot of the greats and written a lot about them. So people can check those out on the main stage part of our Brilliance site, which also includes our documentary on the first 10 years there. So yeah, if you're a member, you get access to a lot of great content there.
Yeah, true. Also, we have game shows. And some of these game shows are a little bit different when you're a member and when you're not. We just had Funk Trivia last night, which was really fun. And our next trivia game is going to be on February 4th, which is a Tuesday. We're doing trivias on Tuesdays. It's the first Tuesday and second to last Tuesday of the month.
First and third, yeah.
First and third Tuesday of the month. So it's Trivia Tuesdays. They're going to be 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're doing a generational trivia next, which is more of an open, could be 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We'll always say the decades beforehand. And then we're doing a niche one as the second game of the month. And I think that's going to be a punk one. So punk music one. So it's going to be fun. Very exciting. A lot of cool prizes. And it's just fun.
Yeah, the one we did last night, that was a lot of fun. And yeah, we had someone who won the first round and someone who won the second and third round.
Nice.
And lots of crazy things can happen. People who are lower on the scoreboard can rise to the top and vice versa. So definitely a lot of fun. So keep an eye out for our promos when we advertise those.
Yeah.
All right. And we also have other Drum Talk TV interviews coming up, which you can see listed on the calendar on our membership site. It's right there on the homepage. So there's one name which I won't say yet because I still need to confirm whether that's still going on. But we are for sure having Brian Tichy and Mark Zonder coming up next week. And Also, along the lines of drummers, there was a press release that came up just before this news desk thing. Like, this came in shortly before. So, this announcement that John Dolmayan is joining Yamaha Drums as a new endorser. So he says, "It is with great pleasure and excitement that I'm joining Yamaha Drum's incredible roster, comprised of the most respected drummers in the world. Yamaha is of the highest quality in terms of both sound and innovation. I'm proud to add my talents to further the perpetual pursuit of art through drumming." So, yeah, we might be looking into whether we can get him on for an interview.
Cool. I also have a set of Yamaha drums, and they're electric drums, and these were made like 10 or 11 years ago, but even then they were really good, and they weren't even like the top of the line one. It was just like your regular, basic electric guitar, electric set, but the sound and like the when you actually hit it, like the feel of it was so good. I love Yamaha drums.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
great. Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
and folks, in case you don't know, which I don't know why you wouldn't, John Dolmayan you might know from System of a Down, so you may
Oh
have heard of that
yeah.
band. So yeah,
It's one of my favorite bands ever, and I
yeah,
play System of a Down on drums all the time. I'm really shocked that that didn't just hit me just a second ago. Yeah, I love System of a Down, and I do play a lot of their music. It's very fun.
yeah,
If you're angry and you're like happy at the same time, like it's like a weird mood band, but very talented.
yeah. Could they have been called the System of a Down, or is that too odd?
Maybe, could possibly. Maybe, I don't know. You have to ask Serge. Who knows? Any band who can sing about like systems and like the government and politics, and then sing about pizza, same album. There's like yeah, so
Right.
they're a very unique band, but I love them to death. Okay, music news. Let's see, from January 29th to February 5th, United Kingdom and Ireland-based music acts can compete for a chance to play on the festival's Woodsy stage and get cash prizes. And this is at Glastonbury. So there's like a Glastonbury festival competition.
Yeah,
And then that's going to be itself in June 25th to the 29th. I've always wanted to go to Glastonbury. I watch videos on YouTube all the time with all the bands I like. It's kind of like, I'm assuming UK people see Coachella and they're like, oh, God, I'd do anything to go to Coachella. But I'd love to go to Glastonbury because they always have like such good bands. And Radiohead played there at Coldplay. So that's really cool.
yeah. I think the only bit of Glastonbury footage I've seen is there was a Yes concert filmed there
Mhm.
in 2003. So that was pretty much how I first found out about it in the
Nice.
2000s when I was browsing YouTube and stuff. But yeah, details on that contest are over at glastonburyfestivals.co.uk. We'll be
Cool.
interested to see who ends up winning that.
Yeah, right. I want to keep up with that.
Yeah. All right. So this is the last music news item. About a week ago, Classic Rock revealed that Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee of Rush apparently they jam weekly for fun and even record it, even if they're not sure if those recordings will be put anywhere. And Alex Lifeson said it wouldn't be a good idea to put a new version of Rush together. So, what are your thoughts on that, Danielle?
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, there's still. I mean, you're just missing Neil, right? Is that
Yeah,
mistaken? I mean, other bands have moved on when they don't have their drummer. Slipknot moved on. Well, I mean, Joey left the band before he died, but I'm just saying, like, I know Led Zeppelin didn't, but it's up to the musicians, and I think that the fan base is receptive enough to understand, and I think that Rush fans are pretty loyal. There could be some division where people are just like, absolutely no, you can't continue without Neil. It won't be the same unless you find the most absolute maniac drummer who can fill Neil's shoes, or does he have any long lost sons or grandsons that play as good as him? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And part of Alex's reasoning was that he says that he would rather keep the legacy like a good memory instead of
Yeah.
being known as like the best Rush tribute band. And I can see where he's coming from. There
Yeah.
are bands like Yes and some others where, you know, even though I support them, there are definitely those fans who are like, yeah,
Hmm.
they should have hung it up like 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. And so
Yeah.
and those bands go through lots of evolutions, whereas Rush had a really consistent lineup since their second album. And I know my dad and Lou have talked about this on Under the Influence sometime last year when there were rumblings of maybe Getty and Alex are thinking of bringing
Hmm.
Rush back in some form. And I feel like my answer at the time was if they were to decide it, I don't think it's a decision that they would take too lightly. Like it wouldn't be a cash grab or anything like that, and they would really want to honor the legacy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they
if
could
they,
maybe form another band with a different name, and then they wouldn't be held down to as many like
yeah, that was another thought I had.
specific
Yeah,
like sounds. Like if they wanted to explore other things that they never really had a chance to explore before, or like maybe do something that's more bluesy or more funky or however they want to do it. I don't think that they should stop being musicians and doing what they love just because someone's passed away. If they want to continue to write music, who are we to say no? But if they want to come up with some other side of band, or it wouldn't be crazy. People would come still see it. They know who they are.
mm.
So
Yeah. I
yeah, I
mean,
don't
lots
think
of
it's
people
crazy.
went to Geddy Lee's book signing tour back in 2023. There was a huge turnout there.
Yeah, I mean, Tom York plays for a lot of different other bands. He has his own thing called The Smile right now. It's like a half of the Radiohead, and people who like Radiohead like The Smile, and so it goes. It's not Radiohead, but it's Radiohead like, and people like it because Radiohead hasn't made an album in like 8 or 10 years. So we'll take what we can get. I would rather have something than nothing. So I don't know. We should
Right.
poll some Rush fans. Ask the Rush fans. What do you think? More Rush
Yeah.
without Neil, or make another band that's we'll call it Hush,
Gosh.
or how about this? Take your time, not Rush.
Yeah. Or call it The Rush. That's technically a different name, right?
The Rush. Did you get the take your time thing? It's Rush. Like take your
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Don't hurry.
Right. But hey, if Alex says that they're not up to it, then I totally respect that. In the meantime, he's pretty occupied with a rock band called Envy of None, and their second album, Stygian Waves, comes out March 14th. Their single from that album just came out recently, so he's keeping himself busy at least.
Yeah, I mean it's up to them.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
cool.
All right. Well, this was a pretty good broadcast, Danielle, once again.
Yeah,
So thanks for
absolutely.
doing this. Yeah.
I will see you again next week, with either you or Ariana, and we'll have some more news. And hopefully that weekend album comes out between now
Right.
and then, and I'll
Yeah.
give it a listen.
Yeah. And Ariana's schedule is pretty full. So
Okay.
at the moment, she's not able to commit to, doing this full time, but she's doing other things for Drum Talk TV.
Sure,
But the door is
absolutely.
always open for her if she ever becomes
Yeah,
free to co host again on a Wednesday this
sounds
time.
good. Awesome. Well, it's always good talking to you, Stephen.
Yeah,
Drum Talk
likewise.
TV, folks, remember, if you want to sign up for the Brilliance membership, all you gotta do is go to Drum Talk TV Brilliance, use code DTV B312, and you get 3 months for the price of one. And it's fun. There's games, there's an archive, there's movies, there's challenges, and a whole bunch of stuff. So check it out.
Right. All right. Well, that'll do it. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we'll see you all next week.
Yeah.